How's it going? I'm Andrew with Investors Hub, and this is another episode of Andrew's Watch List. Basically what it is, it's biotech stocks that I've picked out that I think are going to do well and the evidence for why I feel that way. And I've picked out two biotech stocks that have an upcoming catalyst event at the perfect distance, and they're both operating in the cancer treatment sphere of medicine. So yeah, if you like the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and you can follow us on Twitter. And let's get to the news. So I'm going to be looking at these companies from the market down rather than the science up. For me to make a play in a biotech, I need to be able to understand and have a hope for the science, but I'm filtering by what I consider to be like good market indicators. I'm not looking to gain 300% overnight. I'm looking for a consistent way to make 10 or 15% on these biotech plays. So as a quick disclaimer, I am not an investing professional, nor am I a scientist. The stocks that we talk about in our videos, whether it comes from myself or our guest, none of those stocks are designed to be direct investing advice, so please always do your due diligence. So I trade my biotechs with catalyst dates heavily in mind, and I came across a super exciting catalyst date, like I mentioned before, the perfect distance away. It wasn't so far away that we'd be worried about an offering, but it's not so close that the stock might have already done its big move. So the event had a whole cluster of biotechs that were presenting in it, and the event is the AACR-NCI-EORTC Virtual International Conference on Molecular Targets and Cancer Therapeutics. So scientists name things like Germans whenever they need to name new stuff. They just add pre-existing words one after the other, just stick them together modularly. So I suppose Cancer Dome 2021 is not very professional, but it'd make for a better t-shirt. So the collection of letters at the beginning of the name of the event is three different cancer research organizations: the American Association for Cancer Research, the National Cancer Institute, and the European Organization for Research and Treatment of Cancer. So I get a lot of my data from Biopharma Catalyst. They aren't paying me to say this, but their website is pretty damn cool. Using their screener, I found 4 companies presenting data at Cancer Dome. I mean, this event here: PRLD, FMTX, TPTX, and ZLab. The triple-digit share price possibly scaring away volume, and the upcoming catalyst from ESMO, the European Society for Medical Oncology, made me eliminate ZLab. I don't want that stock price going down if they've got bad data. And given that these companies don't have a huge amount of chatter around them, they're pretty sleepy, I wanted to make sure that the event would pique the most interest, maximizing the impact of the upcoming event from what investors there are and will be, and that's what knocked out FMTX. PRLD and TPTX both have 2 different drugs presenting some degree of data at the event. So I'll bring some financial data on screen so that you can see what I'm seeing and you can compare the 2 companies. All right, so now we have 2 companies with 2 very different float situations, and quite frankly, I'm probably gonna end up picking both of them. PRLD has less float as a percentage of its overall shares outstanding, while TPTX has plenty of float. At the current 30-day volume rate, it would take 40 days to churn up all the float with PRLD and 143 days to churn up TPTX. Both have solid analyst ratings and high price targets above where they're currently trading. Both companies have plenty of cash in their pockets in terms of burn rate, and are trading at the low end of their past 52 weeks, and they're currently in a bit of a downswing on the stochastics as of Friday. They also aren't what I would call recent IPOs, but they haven't been on the scene forever either. PRLD, they did their IPO last year, and TPTX did their IPO the year before that. So let's look at the science that they're doing. For TPTX, Turning Point Therapeutics, they'll be presenting 2 cancer treatments at the event: TPX-0005, aka Trident 1, and TPX-0002, Shield 1, both of which are kinase inhibitors. They inhibit the function of kinase enzymes, which help perform chemical reactions in cells, like signaling. No chemical reactions, and the cell stops being alive. TPTX is going for small molecules that react well. Trident 1 is in phase 1/2 and is what TPTX calls their lead drug candidate. It's designed to treat ROS1 positive non-small cell lung cancer and NTRK positive advanced solid tumors. They're going after the kinase tyrosine. The treatment is taken orally, And they say that because their kinase inhibitor is very small, it can sneak in there and get the job done. So big fat molecules have trouble interacting with one another versus slim, sexy ones. So Shield 1, holy hell, this science is really sciencey, is a phase 1 drug that performs basically a 3-pronged attack on certain kinds of cancer. One's triggered by the MET receptor tyrosine kinase. The attack inhibits a variety of different kinases to disrupt signaling, growth, and immune suppression coming from the cancer. For PRLD, Prelude Therapeutics, they are presenting their Phase 1 PRT811 and PRT543 cancer treatments. So they don't have sweet-ass title names like Dragon or Saber or anything like that, so that's minus points, but the science could still be good. So both treatments are going after PRMT5, another enzymatic protein. It handles a lot of different cellular processes, and PRLD's treatment is trying to supercharge that protein to screw up the cancer. And the PRT811 treatment is optimized for handling tumors that are in the brain. Both of their sciences are pretty equally impenetrable, with maybe the Prelude Therapeutics description being a bit more optimized for human understanding. So normally I like to invest in biotechs that have sciences that are a bit easier to grasp, to wrap your head around, or at the very least they put a little bit more effort into their presentations to make it more generally available for people to consume. But given the fact that this event is so close, it's about cancer, I still think that these biotechs can generate some excitement and some energy. PRLD will likely be more volatile given its float, or lack of float. It's also the more recent of the two IPOs and is the furthest from its 52-week high on a percentage basis. All this to say, I'll probably trade them both. I'd be willing to buy PRLD in the upper to mid-20s based on supports in the chart, but if it hangs out in the low 30s, I'll scoop some up by the end of the week. The reports of insider selling that happened last week probably kicked off a larger than average downswing. So TPTX is a little bit scarier for me, which might be unusual considering the fact that it is the less volatile of the two. It's trading at an upper resistance level rather than a lower support level, which is the main reason why I'm worried. So I'd be hoping to grab some in the mid-60s to low 70s, but we could be seeing the foundation of a new support and resistance channel. Same as with PRLD, if it's holding steady on Friday, I'll buy me some at a higher valuation, as long as nothing particularly insane happens in the market. And plus, we got a quad witching day on Friday, so that's another thing that's going to cause the market to go all wacky. I mentioned that I had my price target of when I wanted to get in, but getting out is dependent pretty much entirely on the stock catalyst date, which is October 7th for both of them. So assuming that there's no sudden spike in price after I buy it, like a 10 or 15% jump in a day, in which case I will be out like trout, then I will be getting out probably on October 4th, which is a couple of days before the event. I do not like holding through data events. I don't like guessing on if the science is going to be good or bad, even if I think the underlying science is really cool, because I have to think that the underlying science is cool or exciting in order to invest in the company, but I just don't like to bet on whether or not their data is going to be good or bad. So I will be out before the event starts. So that's pretty much it for the video. As a quick update, I was in GRTS and I sold that at $12. And I played GRTS for a couple of weeks, all the way up from around the $7.50 range. So that one has treated me extremely well. I am still holding on to Editas. They've got an event coming up at the end of September. I made one play into Editas that netted me about 17%. That one was pretty good. This latest play, I bought Editas at 72, so it's actually a little bit down right now, but I think that it can make itself back up to the $75, $80 range right before the event happens at the end of September, so I remain hopeful for that one. We make all sorts of videos about lots and lots of different investing topics, everything from cryptocurrency to cannabis to Investing 101 videos, and this is our biotech series, and the biotech videos come out, there's usually one a week, and they come out early in the week, so it's either a new biotech or updates on an old one. Yep, so like the video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter, ihub_vision, and I'll see you again soon.